Dear brothers, it's about quality, not quantity.
So guys, it should be your conversation, the way you flow, your presence is enough for a woman to want to be around you, not how much money you spend.
Dear sisters, it's about knowing your value.
My sisters out there, don't be afraid to scare a guy off just because you have standards.
Dear brothers, dear sisters, it's time to come together.
Boom. Hey, yo. Check this out. What's up? Back in the DVDS live studio right now. It is me, my man Mo, and we're here with my man Mel Money. And today we got an amazing show. Mel Money, hit him up, man.
Hey, how's everybody doing today, man? Everything going on right now, we have to continue the movement. We got to continue to be vigilant and to make sure that we change these structural, systematic, racial things above, man, and even out the playing field for Black people. And we got to just keep the message going, be out there, because I always state that all lives cannot matter until Black lives matter. So shout out to all my peoples doing their thing, protesting, being the voice for the voiceless, just everyone. And there's just keep doing your thing.
No doubt. Listen, today's show, we're going to be talking about knowing the difference between love and lust. But before we get into that, I need to continue what Mel was talking about. So yesterday, I went to the march in Phoenix yesterday. And, you know, it was amazing, man. You know, I had to get down there, I had to get out there and be part of this movement, man, because this is historic. You're probably never going to see this again. This only happening one time. So we went out there, man. And, you know, I was marching with the people, man. And all you could feel the energy in the air, the love in the air. You know, people were giving out free water, free, you know, potato chips. They were like, you know, stay hydrated. You know what I mean? Everybody had signs, positive signs, you know, and, you know, everybody knew what the goal was. And, you know, the most of it was, you know, what I heard was it was mostly like a planning strategy. You know, what we're going to do now, right? We know what the issue is.
Right.
Let's talk about a planning strategy. And it's almost like mindset conditioning, right? Everybody, you got to think in this direction so we can make a positive change here, right? And one of the main things was support Black business. So I'm gonna give y'all an opportunity to do that right now, because here's the thing. This is what I found out today. WhereBlackPeopleMeet.com is not owned by Black people.
Oh,
y'all probably thought it was, but it's not. Don't take my word for it. Do your own research. It's not owned by Black people, okay? But DBDS Singles is owned by Black people. You seeing the two brothers that own it right here, me and Mel, right? So we doing our thing, man. So support that. You know what I'm saying? And we out here, we got a good cause. You know what I'm saying? And it's not, we didn't put this site together for no booty cause. We're not doing nothing like that. We trying to build strong, healthy relationships, because y'all see our show. That's what we do. That's what we're about. So support us, man. All right. Come back to you, Mel Money.
no doubt, man. And just support. I mean, it's not a dating site, it's a relationship site. So just make sure you click on the link, dbdssingles.com. It is on the DBDS group page, as well as my personal page, as well as DBDS Straight Talk. But before we even get started, I just want to get this off my chest. I witnessed a conversation on social media where a brother stated that Black people are racist. And I just have to explain to him that true racism exists only when one group holds the majority of wealth and power over another group, then uses those resources to marginalize, exploit, and exclude another race of people. And this is why this movement is so emotional and why we have to change the system, because it's been going on since the founding of this country. And furthermore, Blacks can never be racist. We can only react to racism and white racism. And the things that we have to go through just based off centuries and centuries, that pretty much has an effect on our social economic platform. So this is why we have to just create legislation, support politicians who have our best interests. Don't just vote for people that will be like, hey, I'll give you, you know, let's put the name of a bridge in a famous Black person's name, or put a name of a street in a Black person's name. No, those are symbolic gestures. We need real change that will really help the cause. So with that being said, like I stated, Black lives matter. So enough of my little political lecture. I had to get off my chest. Let's get on with the show.
All right, I'm off my soapbox too, but I am going to say this, you know, part of the campaign of change is trying to establish healthy relationships, and that's why we're here today. So we're gonna go into our show, man. We got some amazing guests that are coming into the building. Today's show again is knowing the difference between love and lust. Sometimes we get in situations, man, and look, sex is a love drug. Okay, sex can blur the lines for anybody. Don't think that you can't. The lines can't get blurred for you, and you might get in a situation you don't know if you're in love, if you're in lust. We're gonna work out that though. We're gonna have that conversation on that. We're gonna have that discussion. So join in the discussion, man. Send us, some Facebook, send us your Facebook comments, and we'll bring them up on the show. We'll have those discussions. We're gonna talk about that. All right, right now I'm about to bring in my first amazing guest into the building. My girl out of Colorado, my girl Nicole Marie. What's up, Nicole?
What's happening, you guys?
How you doing?
Hey, cool.
I'm doing good, doing good.
Welcome to DBDS Live. Tell the people a little bit about yourself and why you're here today.
Well, my name is Nicole Marie. I'm from Denver, Colorado. As my profession, I'm a dispatcher for Republic Services. It's a waste management company here in Colorado. I'm also a model. I promote body positivity, self-love, encouragement to women and to uplift women at all times. I am also, most importantly, a DBDS brand ambassador.
Yes.
I completely believe in what you guys do and the positivity that you bring into the Black community, because especially right now, it's so important that we have love and positivity and backing and having these forums for conversation. So,
well, we appreciate you. Glad to have you here. We really appreciate you.
Thanks,
and
guys.
Last but not least, our girl Merieta coming in from CT. Welcome to the show, Merieta.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. It's our pleasure. It's all good.
I'm happy to be here again.
Yes, we're gonna keep you coming back. Don't worry, you and Nicole, all of you guys gonna keep coming back.
Yay!
All right, tell the people a little bit about yourself, Merieta, and why you're here today.
Okay, so I am a serial entrepreneur, a freelance photographer, event space owner, author, motivational speaker, and the list goes on. I do a lot of live broadcasting as well. And, I love to help people, women in particular, especially young women of color. That's so important for me to uplift others and be an inspiration overall. So I'm here. Thank you guys for bringing me on multiple times on this show. You guys are amazing. And I love how Nika said, a brand ambassador for DBDS. Yes, I would definitely say
yes.
I've added that to my list, and I need a shirt. Why don't I have a shirt?
Oh, we got you.
Why
get her a shirt, y'all?
I've been on here and I don't have a shirt. Like I need a shirt.
DBDS slipping.
I'm gonna rep the brand. And
we slipped some time. You know what I'm saying? That was a slip right there. Forgive us. All right, but we got here we go. We're gonna keep this going, man. Listen, we glad to have you guys here today. Listen, the thing that we do, teach, learn, live. That's what we're gonna do today. Teach, learn, and live, right?
Absolutely.
Mel Money, kick us off, brother.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, we have a section called the DBDS Anonymous section where people post their issues and they look for some constructive criticism to help them elevate the situation. So it reads, I have a situation. I've been seeing this guy for 2 months. Everything is great and we have a strong emotional connection. He's kind, makes me laugh, and we are definitely physically compatible. I'm 26 years old and I have my own place, plus I'm raising my 6-year-old son and he's 42 with no kids. But I think he may have a drinking problem. I don't know why, but I guess it was my intuition. Anyway, I recently came to find out that he's a recovering alcoholic. He said the old him is no more and I'm his angel. He also mentioned that he can't live without me. Anyway, we would hang out and his drinking one day got out of control. He met my son within a month and quite honestly, my son doesn't like him. He mentioned to me a few times about getting into old habits by drinking too much, and he mentioned that it loosens him up. When we weren't hanging out, he mentioned a few times he was drinking at home alone, and he would get really depressed because he wants to establish a relationship with me. It kind of makes me feel uncomfortable because I don't feel the same way, and I feel like we're going way too fast, and also his drinking is getting more out of control. Just yesterday, he called me and sounded very slow over the phone, and then he explained that he has fallen, broke his glasses, and needs me to pick him up. He's been out of work for 8 months, has no transportation, and he is currently living with his grandmother. He also asked me if he can borrow $250 so he get a new pair of Ray-Ban sunglasses because his eyesight is poor. When I offered to help him find a job, He told me it would be embarrassing if someone caught him working at a retail store or a fast food restaurant. Listen, I know I sound crazy, but I really care for this guy, and I think I'm in love with him. What can I do to help him change and become a better man? Because it's mentally and physically draining to keep him right on track. Any advice will help.
All right, y'all. We got our anonymous sister out there. She dealing with a lot of different things. I heard a lot of different things, man. We got to unravel this. See if we can give her some kind of advice or something. All right. So look, let's go to. Let me come to you, Merieta. Merieta said. Merieta, I already see Merieta.
Let's rub it down.
Let's work this out, Merieta. We need to help her out, man.
Oh Jesus, there's definitely so many red flags here. Okay, one. Listen, 26, he's 26 with a 6-year-old, right? He's what, in his 40s? 42, 40, whatever. I don't care. Listen, her son is her priority. They've been together 2 months. He has too much baggage, emotional baggage, physical baggage. He don't have a job. He doesn't have a transportation. He is unstable. He's going back to his old ways as far as like his alcoholism. Now, listen, I don't knock anybody that may be struggling with something. They've had a past, whatever. That's not even, let's even take the alcohol out of the equation. He doesn't have his own finances. He doesn't have his own place. He has no transportation. What is he doing for you, young lady, besides the physical part of the sexual? What else? That's it? That's all he's got to offer? Honey, there's so many people out there that has that. They're great in bed, but guess what? They got everything else going for them too. And love the Lord on top of it. So girl, you better drop this man quick, fast, in a hurry, because one, you're putting yourself, not only yourself in danger, but you have a son to think about. And what type of influence and what type of role model are you bringing into his life? Any man, I don't care whether it's long term, short term, they should not be meeting your son right away. They should not. I have a 14-year-old son. So let me tell you, I hid men. I don't care if I bought them over. You were never going to see my son. I don't care if it's going to have to be late night, this and that. You do not meet my child. There's people that haven't met my son 6 months, almost to a year. No, I wait. I need to make sure you're going to be somebody, because the last thing I want is for my child to see multiple men coming in and out of my life. And you may not think that he notices because he's 6 years old. Oh no, my son will bring up stuff from when he was 4 and 5. I'm like, how do you remember that? Like, kids know. And they have their own intuition as well. So if he's not liking him for some reason, trust me, it's a reason that he's not liking him. You better trust your gut as well and listen to your kids, because listen, I don't put anything past anybody. I'm not saying that he's done anything yet to your son, but he might have even looked at him the wrong way. He might have even handled him the wrong way. Kids can pick up and sense things. Protect your child first and yourself. But listen, you have him as your responsibility. I don't mean to go on, but girl, there are so many things in this thing. I'm like, no, he is not the one. And he needs to be able to, he's a man, first of all. I don't care what he's been through. And he's talking about he don't want to work at a retail store.
Right. No,
a man needs to get out there and be a protector and a provider. We've talked about this on past shows. So if he's not even willing to do that, and you're a 26-year-old woman spending for yourself and your son, hell no, he should not be asking you for not even $1. Forget $250. He shouldn't be asking you for $1. I don't care if he got to go stand on the corner to hustle up $1 from himself and he can give it to you. No, I don't play that mess no more. I've been there, done that, and trust me, it's not worth it. I live in a house on my own. I pay my own bills. Girl, if I can work 3 jobs and be an entrepreneur and do whatever I have to do, this man got to be held to 10 times the standards as a woman. That's point blank period. If he's not handicapped and he don't have some type of other issue, no, he can get out there and work hard labor all day long. Go out there. I don't care what you're embarrassed to do. Sorry, that just got me like.
Speaking truth. Listen. I try to tell y'all. Listen, if you don't know, we keep it real on DBDS. So listen, take that feedback, take what's gonna work for you, lady. And hold on, we got some more for you, because I got more of my panel here is gonna give you some input. All right, Nicole Marie, I'm coming to you.
I love guys, like all those ladies that are listening. Like, I love you. You're like, I'm hearing this story like as if you're my little sister, and I'm telling you this.
No doubt.
Right.
Nicole, what's your input on this situation here?
I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what's the most important thing. I guess the first thing that comes to mind is let him go. 2 months. I don't think that you can know you love someone in 2 months, especially what he's been showing you. He hasn't shown you anything except for sex. I mean, The second thing, like Merieta was saying, your son is watching. Is this the example that you want to set for your son? Thirdly, if he admits he has an alcohol problem, alcoholism, you have to admit that you have a problem, right? Isn't that the first step?
Yes,
So
is.
it sounds like more of a manipulative point of view that he's coming from. So you're going to find someone 20 years younger than you, say you have a problem, dump all your problems on them, and so you can take care of him. I think that's what he's after. He's not looking to love you. He's looking for what he can get out of you. And you have nothing to gain from this. Let him go.
Wow. Now, Money. Thoughts, brother?
Yeah, I agree with Merieta and Nicole in this. I mean, this is the classic example of a mother and child relationship where the brother is in a childlike state and he's playing the role of an adopted son and she's playing the role of a surrogate mother. And what's sad about the situation is that you're dealing with a brother who refused to improve himself. And just to get analytical, it sounds like he's a mama's boy. And within this context, it simply means that he may have been raised in a single parent household by a mother figure who smother and spoil him. And this type of nurturing has prevented him from living up to his fullest potential as a man, especially if there was no real man around to guide him properly. So when he dates, he looks for a woman such as the anonymous poster to be his new surrogate mother. And this cupcake brother, I believe, will usually get into a relationship where he allows the woman to make all the decisions. And he is solely dependent on her mentally, physically, and emotionally. And whenever there's a problem with his girlfriend or with this anonymous poster, he is so quick to go running back to his real mama's house, which in turn is his grandma. So my advice to the sister is to establish your moral codes, because it sounds like the brother is way beneath your standards. Because if you continue to get more emotionally involved, you will lose respect for him. Plus, it will slow your progression as a natural feminine woman since you're raising your boyfriend. And as Merieta stated, this will also have an effect on your son where his negative habits can influence him on how he may, I would say, subconsciously treat women as he gets older. And this is why it's important during the friend zone stage, you definitely want to take your time. Because if you get serious with any brother, you have to make sure he's a real man. So that way you're in your natural feminine state and you'll have a man who will provide for you and protect you. And most importantly, one your son will look up to.
Boom. Just like that, y'all. Just like that. Listen, my panel killed that, but I'm still gonna say my little input. Here's my little input right here. Listen.
Okay,
And I want you ladies to take this to heart. Okay. You are 26, he 42, right? So this is the thing I cannot get by. Okay. I know you got a lot going on over there, but he's 42, right? So this is what I'm thinking. Okay. When he was 35, when he was 38, he knew someday he was gonna run into a woman that he wanted to be with, right? I don't know. I don't even know if he want to be with you, but I'm assuming because y'all trying to work this out and he's there, that may be the case. But here's the thing. Why didn't he get everything together before this time? You know, you got to think about that. He's 42, man. He's 42. What he should have been working on that, man, years ago. You don't want to bring that to you. Why I got to bring that? You know what I'm saying? I show up now and I'm all jacked up. Now I want to get with you, right? Just think about that, lady. That's not your burden to carry. Just remember that. That is not your burden to carry, all right? So it's like that. So hopefully, anonymous poster, man, hopefully you got something out of that, but we keep it real on DBDS.
Run, girl, run.
No doubt.
Can I say something real quick?
You can say anything you want. Go ahead, Merieta.
Real quick. And hopefully I don't have an echo. I turned my mic down. So
okay, you're good.
So listen, I want to say this too, because at this point, when you have a child like me, I've been in situations just like this. And it became so burdensome for me. And I was like, I can't be raising two kids. I have one son. I'm not raising a grown man. And then most of my life, I've dated men that were twice my age. And guess what? The majority of those men always took care of me. So when I faced a situation that I was like, wait, this is an older man who doesn't have his life together. Like, I immediately felt like I was doing the wrong thing. I was like, oh, this don't feel right. I tried it because I like to be nice and stuff like that. But let me tell you, no, in these situations, it's not good for your health, your spirit, nothing. It will do nothing but drain you and bring you down. You cannot afford to do that. You're 26 years old. I'm 37. You're 26. Let me listen to somebody who's been there, done that. Like,
and that's why we do this. That's exactly why we do this. You know, we got people who had the similar experiences. You know, we've been through this. So, you know, take our advice to heart. Right now, we got some people on Facebook. Mail Money. Hit up Facebook, brother.
Yes. So thank you for tuning in. Our first comment from Deneen, she stated, wanting us to fix him.
Mm.
Yeah, Deneen, that's so true. I mean, this brother is definitely in the classic mother and child relationship. Also, another comment from Deneen, mothers set good examples of how to treat a woman. Absolutely. I agree. Our girl, Africa, she stated, drop them. Okay.
Yes.
Like a bad habit.
Period.
Deuces, boo.
And then our girl Just Tattoo, she stated, this is only the beginning. This
That's
won't
right.
end. She was referring
You're
to
right.
the beginning comments I mentioned. And finally, the last comment from Jess, persistence is key. Thank you for tuning in, my peoples. Great comments. Keep them coming.
No doubt. All right. Now, right now, we about to jump into the main part of our show. Today, I told you we talk about knowing the difference between love and lust. In fact, that scenario we just talking about, that fits, between love and lust, because I know that dude ain't in love. Because if he's in love, man, he would be out there. Listen, I'm going to be raw for a minute because I used to hear this saying when I was growing up. They used to tell me, listen, if you want something bad enough, you get out there and shovel shit. I'm just being raw, man. And so listen, and you gotta, whatever job you gotta do to make it happen, get out there and make it happen, man. You the dude. You gotta do that, right? All right, so we're gonna jump right into our first topic. What we're talking about today is knowing the difference between love and lust. And one of the situations that a lot of us get into is, we might meet somebody who wants to conceal the relationship from the public. If you meet somebody like that, I mean, there's a red flag in that, right? So you need to figure out before you get tied and you get attached, are you in love or lust? So this lady right here is saying, listen, I'm not ready to introduce you to my friends yet. We've only been seeing each other for a year, right? So I don't know. Is she concealing the relationship from the public? You know what I mean? Is this a situation where she's in love or she's in lust? We're gonna talk about that. Let's get into that right now. We're talking about concealing your relationship from the public, because here's the thing. If he or she conceals a relationship from the public, this might be a lust situation. In the words of my partner Mel, this is his saying. The words of my partner Mel, he said, listen, when you meet the right person, that's like winning a championship trophy. You don't hide that. You show that off, man. You got the championship trophy. You are parading that for everybody to see. Coming to you, Nicole. Let's talk about this one. Concealing a relationship from the public. Is this a love or lust situation?
I think it could be a little bit of both. I mean, I get it in the beginning. You're getting to know someone. You're not sure. You don't want to embarrass yourself if they end up being, crazy or whatever. But once you get into, I don't know, 4 months down the line and they don't want to introduce you to anybody, it's either one, they're trying to spare someone else's feelings, or they're not ready for you, or they're playing you. That's like pimpology 101. I want you for my own personal needs, but I also want to be over here. I don't want to limit what I have going on over here. So stay over here, wait for me for a minute. I definitely don't agree with it. If it's past the dating stage and to the point where you think you want to be with somebody.
Y'all need to pick that book up, man. Pimpology 101. Pick that book up. No doubt. Got some good hints. Got some hints. No, we need to read that so we understand what it's about. No doubt. No doubt. Mel Money, what's your thoughts on this, man?
I'm going to break it down from a male's perspective. I mean, I just feel like, if a brother doesn't even want to be seen out with you and prefers to spend time at your place or his place or some dark, creepy, isolated area, then I believe that's a huge red flag, because a brother who truly wants to get to know you will want to show you off to the world, as I stated before, with the championship belt. And this is where the nonverbal aspect is just as or even more important than the verbal aspect, because if his actions, I'll say, do not parallel with his walls, then it's time to get off the highway and do a U-turn to avoid any unnecessary obstacles. And when a brother goes to this magnitude or portrays himself as a double agent, he has to use deception to keep his significant partner separate from his affair or infidelity. And this is another red flag, because it simply shows that he does not care enough about a future with you to step his game up. I would say to see the relationship as a prize worth pursuing. And this is where I believe logic has to override the emotions because a lack of enthusiasm to go out or be seen with you in public on his part should be a clear indication that he cannot see a future with you.
No doubt. All right, Merieta, what's your thoughts on this?
Listen, I was with somebody that didn't want to be seen, and I knew why, because he had a girlfriend on the side already. And we were just strictly doing our thing physically. That's just what it was. Anytime it's definitely either somebody else is involved, they're embarrassed by you, they're just simply not interested, and purely sexual, or as Nicole had said in the beginning, that's acceptable. Like, you don't want to showcase somebody right away when you meet them, because you don't know where it's going, right? Because I've had situations like that, and I'm like, listen, these dudes don't last. Let me just wait it out and see how long they'll be around. Then I might start posting you on my social media. We can go out and I'll let you meet one of my best friends. Like, let's just play this by ear. But once you establish that there's something there, of course you want to show them off. You don't want to keep them in the dark. And if they don't ever want to come to light, trust me, it's because more than likely they've got somebody else on the side, whether you know it or not. And I'm doing a whole book on this. So yeah.
So y'all, this is DBD is live, man. We are talking about knowing the difference between love and lust. We'll be back in about 60 seconds. Sit tight.
Hey.
What up, y'all? Back in the DBD's live studio here with my girl Merieta, my girl Nicole, and my man Mel Money, and we are talking about knowing the difference between love and lust. It's getting ugly, man, but you know what I'm saying? We cannot shy away. We gotta have these discussions. We gotta have this, we gotta figure all this out. All right, right now we're gonna go to Facebook. Mel, any shout outs or thoughts on Facebook?
Yes, got a comment from Africa. She said, a year is way too long to hire your partner. Again, dump them. Okay. And also, and she also said exactly. And while we're doing this, I'm going to give some shout outs to my peoples watching the show. So shout out to Lenice, Ariel, Takara, Tabby, Avery, Angela, Tyran, Tawana, Shantae, Danielle, Ashley. Shout out to everybody watching the show. We greatly appreciate the support. And make sure you guys join dbdssingles.com. It's free, a relationship site. So check that out.
All right, we're about to jump into our next topic. I know probably everybody, and this is for the ladies. This is strictly for the ladies, because I'm sure every lady probably been in this situation. Some guys too. I bet you some guys been in this situation. It's that moment where you try to figure out, what is our relationship? Like, when do you do that? And when you say that, what happens, right? So that's when you meet somebody who does not want the relationship defined. When you meet those people, you got to figure out exactly what you're going to do next. So if you don't want the relationship defined, here's what happened in this situation. This woman here asked the man, what are we? And he just fell over, man. He like, I can't answer that. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot to be said when somebody cannot answer that question, right? What are we? We don't want the relationship defined. If you're in that type of situation and you cannot make an informed decision, that's the thing, right? If you don't know what type of relationship you're in, you can't make an informed decision, right? And that's a lot of people know that. And so they use that to their advantage. So that's kind of like that keeping you in the dark. Nicole kind of alluded to that before in one of her responses. You keep somebody in the dark, they don't know what to do. Coming to you, Mel Money, the relationship is not defined, man. What do we do in this situation?
I mean, this is so true. I mean, I would have to say these hyena brothers, they're easy to spot because they verbally and non-verbally display their true colors out the gate. You just have to be mindful of it. But even if you don't act or portray yourself as a jump off or display any promiscuous behavior, you will still attract counterfeit brothers. And that's natural because it is part of the dating experience that you just can't simply avoid. However, it's always a sister's decision on who she decides to entertain and who she decides who she want to get serious with in a relationship. Also, I feel the problem is when a brother only displays his lustful desires, and some women find that challenging and believe they can change his mindset, which I feel like at the beginning when I was reading that letter, it's a bad strategy. It's a losing strategy because let's be realistic. I mean, there is nothing you can do to change a brother's mind. And this is why I tell my classy sisters before you, I'll say, jump right into the dating arena. You have to be honest with yourself. But if you're looking for a serious relationship, you shouldn't date men based on your own expectations, because once you get into that train a bear or train a shark syndrome, you'll be with a certain brother who refused to utilize his potential to treat you the way you want to be treated because you were so desperate for a man. And sadly, that's just an illusion of a good man. And the reality is you knew he was smashing every woman around your area. And now that you got a hold of him, you train him to act the way you wanted him to act. And he'll use his charming techniques to keep you as an option without worrying if there's any consequences to his actions after he verbally and non-verbally show you that you're just another player on his rotating bench. So just make sure you be careful out there.
No doubt. Listen, and on a personal note, I was in this situation, right? I had already took care of all my biological needs. I got all that out my system. Now I wanted something serious, right? So I met this lady and I'm like, listen, we need to, establish something serious, and she was like, well, I'm not ready. I'm not sure that that's what I want. And I'm like, cool, man. And I stepped, you know what I'm saying? Because it just wasn't for me. I had already been through that phase, so that I heard some people talk about open relationships. Some people talking about, let's not define it yet. Let's see where it goes. Man, don't get stuck in that. Get some definition in your life. That's like saying, let's go for a trip and not defining where and just start driving. And that's crazy, man.
See where we end up.
I'm saying, right? Where we gonna end up? In a damn ditch, dead in a ditch.
Or just keep driving until
the gas run out. Just keep driving.
All right, no doubt. All right, coming to you, Nicole. We talk about this. Some people don't want the relationship defined, and you don't know if they're in love or lust. What's the situation here? Help me.
Yeah, I just feel like you shouldn't start dating someone if you don't know where you want to go. I mean, I'm 43 years old. I'm single. I know when I'm dating, it's with a purpose. I know the goal that I want to get to immediately before I even meet someone. I know what it is. So you have to establish that up front. People that want to string you along in 6 months, 7 months, 8 months down the line, I'm not sure what I want. Well, like you said, ladies or men, I feel like women deal with it more. It's your decision whether you want to stick around and see where it goes, or, I mean, you're pretty much like Pimpology 101. You stuck in the dark while this person figures out what they want to do. They want to keep themselves on the market without committing to you. That way they're not breaking any rules, technically. So that's lusty.
Merieta, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, so I've been in stages in my life, like in my early 20s, that I was just like dudes. I didn't want to define a relationship either. I was still kind of like having fun. I don't want a serious relationship. And then, as I got older, I'm 37 and I'm like, I don't have time to do this. Like, I want a family. I may even want another child. So as Nico said, dating with a purpose now. And I literally walked away from somebody not too long ago because, I mean, they're in their 50s and, very successful man, had a lot going for him. He was a provider, but he was still kind of playing back and forth with like his kid's mother and like wasn't sure what he wanted. And he was like, well, we don't have to define it right now. And why do we have to put titles on things? Like, I'm here for you, aren't I? If you need something, I got you, both physically, financially, this and that. And I'm like, but you're not giving your 100% all to me. And that's what I'm looking for. So he thought that I was just because we were saying we love each other and all this stuff. Cause like I did love him, But at the same time, I loved myself more enough to walk away from the situation because I knew that I deserved better. I knew that I was giving him my 100%, but he was not giving me his 100%. And ladies, you deserve to get what you put out. That's bottom line. You deserve to get what you put out. Listen, if you're putting out 1,000, that man better be putting out 1,000, not 100, not 99, not 80, not 20. No. He needs to be putting out 1,000 too. Yeah. Someone, listen, there's somebody for everybody. God will give you that person. And you may want to, I've had friends that say, I'm just going to sleep with this person and be with this person as a filler until I find somebody else. I used to do that too. But guess what? As I've gotten older, I've become more content with being by myself until that right person comes along. I don't want to waste my energy. I don't want to waste my time. I know that I want to save myself now for the person that I'm intended to be with long term and for the rest of my life. I don't care when it comes. I'm not wasting anything on just these little passers-byers and the fill-ins. I don't even desire that anymore. And I think that just becomes with more maturity and learning yourself and being more in tune with yourself spiritually. And God will show you, like, nah, you don't even need that. Like, you'll be so content with doing other things and working on yourself that, like, I'm going to be great for the person that I'm meant to be with long term. So I decided to walk away. And I'm like, if that's what you want. He was so shocked. He was like, wow, I can't believe you're doing this. But he was like, I respect it. Exactly.
Now you respect it.
I respect it. Yeah.
Drop the headphones. It's just done.
That's like the NFL. Now I understand why.
Right. It's just like,
they will respect you so much more for doing that because again, you thought more of yourself. You loved yourself. You respect yourself. If you don't respect yourself, nobody else will. And I'm telling you, every time I walked away from a guy or any person in business, whatever, when they see that you stand up for yourself, they're like, wow, like she's really doing this. Like I honor her. I respect her for doing her thing. She's protecting her energy. She's caring about herself so much more. And yeah, the physical, the sex, all that's great. But guess what? All that stuff, that don't last. It doesn't. You got to be so much deeper.
And I'll tell you from a guy's perspective that I respect you, that, you know what that is? That's that you on the way up on the top of the building, you get ready to jump and they put that little blow up thing so you can land on that. That's what that is. That's just a soft landing for a dude, you know what I'm saying? Because he like, oh, I didn't think she was gonna do this. So you know what I'm saying? I gotta say something. That way I'm not totally crushed because he was trust me, he in the words of Mobb Deep, he was shook. He was shook. He was shook. He was shook. No doubt. He was shook. All right, y'all. We're gonna keep this rolling, man. We are talking about knowing the difference between love and lust, and we got a whole bunch of different scenarios we're talking about right now. I want to get into another one here. Sometimes you might meet somebody that is physically available only. In this situation right here, the dude is like, listen, I need more from this relationship. And the girl is like, listen, you know what I'm saying? Just drop the D and you can go home. You know what I'm saying? But he like, listen, I want more out of this relationship, right? So, when you're in those situations, I got an analogy for those situations because they, it's something that fits a lot of different scenarios. And the one scenario that it fits really good is a dad and his son. So if there was a dad who sent his son $1,000 a month for 10 years, right, and saw him once a year, I mean, at the end of that 10 years, what kind of relationship would they have? They would not have a very good relationship. There was some financial support, but the building piece of that relationship is not there. There's no foundation. There's nothing there. All right. So this is the same kind of scenario when you're just there physically for somebody and you don't have the emotional, you don't got no connections. We probably all been there in some way, shape or form, either on the receiving side or the giving side. So let's talk about that a little bit. Come to you, Mel Money. What's your thoughts on this one, man?
Yeah. I mean, just to go even deeper, not just the physical external portion, but the physical being present with that person. I'm going to go deep on that level because, if it's been a long time you've been dating, and from the male's perspective, if you've been dating a brother and he tries to avoid the topic or he becomes irate at the mere mention of your desire for commitment, then that's a huge red flag. And it's a bigger red flag if the brother does some Houdini magical trick and disappears after you try to define a relationship with them. And if he always pivots and rearrange your schedule for a late night visit and change the discussion to soft pillow talk, then it simply means he's only committed to smashing your chocolate chip cookies. And he's not committed to being in a relationship with you. And and if you're not careful, your emotions can get sucked right in if you allow your emotions to override your logic. And this is why it's so important to play just a little defense until that man has earned your mind, body, and soul. And defense just simply means to figure out a brother's agenda to see if he's treating you like a sprint, as I stated before, or like a marathon, just to see if you two are on the same page, or if he's just treating you like a physical transaction. And this is why your self-worth, your self-respect, your self-love, they all begin with self for a specific reason. And that specific reason is to have more codes, which are your personal guidelines or principles that you should follow. And if these components are not relatable or do not parallel with your rules of engagement, then simply you have to hold yourself accountable for choosing low quality men. And I believe the combination of how you present yourself and how you communicate, and if you have a poor filtration process, will put you at a disadvantage with every man you'll come across too, especially the ones who are just physically there but not emotionally available.
All right, Merieta, what's your thoughts on this? We talking about, people who are physically or sexually available only. If you're in a situation like that, what are you dealing with?
Yeah, I mean, that's not always going to last, because I've been in relationships like that where I was cool with it for a minute because that's just what I wanted at the time being. Or I've been with other men that I thought maybe if I started a physical thing that I could change him and he'd actually fall for me and then want to be with me long term. That don't work neither. If a man wants to be with you, he wants to be with you, and he will let you know. Women, we cannot change men. I don't care how good we think our stuff is. It just ain't gonna happen. Like, if he's not mentally ready for that, you cannot force him. You cannot force him. And you need to let that happen naturally. Because if a man wants you, he's gonna come after you. He's like a predator. He gonna show you. He gonna come after what he wants. Like, he's gonna go after it and tackle you and take you down. Like, okay, but yeah, I know. So, but again, at this stage in my life, I'm over just that physical part, because I do want something so much more. I want a physical connection, a mental connection, a spiritual connection. And that's so much more important to me. And I've got guys that text me all the time. Like, I may have been with them in the past, and then they feel like because we have been together that it's okay. And I'm like, I don't even want to be bothered. Sometimes I answer the text. Sometimes I don't. I just shut it down. I'm like, that's not where I am anymore. Like, you caught me at a time in my life where that was cool. But now, as I've grown, I want something more. So I've learned to just let everything go. I'm in a content place with myself. And I'm like, like, because I know what comes along with that. Because also, when you connect with somebody physically, you're creating soul ties with people and you're attaching yourself. Y'all should look that up. If y'all don't know what soul ties are, but do some research on that. And the more people that you connect with in that physical way, you thinking, oh, it's just sex, whatever. No, nothing is never just sex, no matter what you think. And you wonder why you keep wanting to go back to this person. It's almost like an addiction, because you've created a soul tie to that person. Yeah. It's never just sex. It's never simple. So if you think beyond, like on a deeper level of how you connect with people, when they put themselves inside of you and allow somebody inside of you, it's a whole nother world of stuff. And you'd be like, whoa, it's almost scary. So when you're young, you're like, oh, I'm just having fun. Read on some of this stuff and see what type of ties you're creating with people.
No doubt. And one thing I'm going to touch upon that Merieta hit on, she said, the dudes that she used to be with, they call now thinking that everything the same. Side note, one thing you should know is people and relationships are dynamic. They change over time. The needs, the wants, all of that changes, man. So don't think you're just going to get on the phone and be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? 3 years ago, we used to be like this. What's up? And think everything is good. Don't work like that. Coming to you, Nicole, let's talk about this. We talk about, being physically or sexually available, and that's all. What we dealing with here?
I have to go back to the accountability. because women, this wouldn't happen to us if we were accountable. You don't give up the physical before you have somebody mentally stimulate you. If someone can get it from you, they're gonna. Why would they not? So we can't be upset with men who continue to use us for sex and aren't emotionally available or want a relationship with us. Because to me, I'm thinking in their mind, they're probably thinking, well, how many other guys has she given it up to, thinking, like Merieta said, you're going to change? Because you could be new right now, but eventually you're not going to be new to them anymore. And then that's time for them to move on.
Yeah, man. Just understand what you're dealing with when you're out there. Mel Money, Facebook, brother. What's going on there?
Yes. Our DBDS sister Africa said, and yes, soul ties are so real. Once you know about them, your mindset is different, and that physical is not even important anymore. Yes. Amazing comment. And I call that STE, sexually transmitted energy. That's why I call it. Africa also stated at a certain age, physically available is not even an option. At 39, I don't have time for it. Exactly. If you can't offer more, I don't want it. And last but not least, for my girl Africa, we need to get you on the show, Africa.
She got all her in right now.
Next show, Africa.
We have all had a booty call. That's not love nor lust. Just drop the D and go. And this is why people need to be upfront with their attention, so no one's feelings are hurt in the end. That's why smash chocolate chip cookies. Okay.
That's heavy duty, man. That's heavy duty.
I like Africa. She definitely need to be on the
show.
No.
Raw. I told y'all, man, we keep it real. We keep it real. Check this out. Right now, we're going to take a quick short break, 60 seconds. This is DBDS Live. We talk about knowing the difference between love and lust. We'll be right back. What up, y'all? Back in the DBDS Live studio. It's your man Mo. I'm here with Merieta, my girl Nicole, and my man Mel Money, and we are talking about knowing the difference between love and lust. We done hit up a whole bunch of topics, man. We got a lot more in store for you, so sit tight. Next thing we about to go into, one thing that nobody should ever allow, and that is themselves to be treated like a low priority. This brother out here is at dinner. Look at that woman, man. She's fine as hell, and he on the cell phone. He got white wine. She ain't nothing, man. Just sitting there. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever get yourself in a situation like that. That is crazy, man. So look, that's the thing. You know, in a situation like that, whether it's love or lust, and you being treated as a low priority, let's talk about that. Come to you, Nicole. Talk to me about that one.
That is just frustrating to me. That whole, I had something that I wanted to say, but when I see that picture, it changed the whole thing. Okay, so if I'm giving you my time and my attention and my energy, I'm a busy woman. So if I decide to do that and we go out to dinner, I better have your full attention. If I see that phone, you're not getting a second date. That's just is what it is. Basic, right? Hold on.
She had to take a drink.
I'm a pass. That just made me irritated.
I know.
Goes back to the Pimpology 101. You want me for what you want me for, but I'm not good enough for your full attention. Attention is free to give. If you care about me, you can give me at least that.
So I'm gonna add a little follow-up question. I'm gonna ask all of you when I come to you. So Nicole, in that situation, you in that situation, as the woman, what do you do?
Well, what I'd want to do is get up and leave, but I'm a lady, so I'm not going to do that. But I will gently, say, are you here to be on social media, on your phone, on a date? If you didn't have time to do this, we should have planned for another time. What am I here for? Not just to eat, because I got food at the house.
Wow.
Whew. Mel Money, thoughts on this one, brother?
Whew. I mean, that picture
God.
says it all,
Oh.
man. I mean,
Right, you done set us all off with that picture.
yeah, no, bro. I mean, there are a couple of red flags I like to point out. The first one, if a brother has an unfortunate, unreliable trait, then it simply means he takes you for granted. And also, it's human nature for a brother to oppress a woman. So if it means little to him, then that simply means that gaining your respect factor is low on his priority scale. And if a brother isn't concerned about securing your respect, then that simply means he will not be concerned about securing your desire for him. And if he's not concerned about your desire, then it simply means you're nothing more than his getaway entertainment pleasure to feed his sexual appetite. Another thing I would like to mention that Nicole just mentioned about the phone and everything, but texting, that's crazy. Brothers who keep a rotating bench know that you cannot establish a serious relationship through digital rapport. Now, at the beginning stage, it's fine to set up a definite date or exchange flirty messages throughout the day, but high-value men know that calling a woman on the phone will separate them from the other brothers out there that take women for granted. And a brother that won't make any effort to call you or even pay attention to you while you have that one-on-one date definitely is not one that wants to establish a healthy relationship with you.
All right, man, Money, I'm coming back at you, man. Flip the script. What if it's a dude and he ain't getting attention?
Well, if it's a dude, then that brother just simply means that he has a scarcity mindset. And whenever a brother just has a scarcity mindset, then he is just fixated on that one woman. A man should have an abundant mindset, which means that if one is not compatible or have that chemistry with him, then he has another one lined up that he can date and make sure that they're both enthusiastic and excited so he get the relationship he desires.
Sound like tennis theory and options to me. All right, we're gonna go right now to Merieta. Merieta, what's your thoughts on this one? Getting treated like a low priority.
Well, see, even when it wasn't like a serious relationship, even if it was just like, let's just say purely physical, but when you're in my presence, I always made it known, like, bro, I don't care who, put your phone down because this is my little time. I don't care if it's 15 minutes. This is my time. Put your phone away because I don't have my phone. So I am the focus during the time that you're with me. I'd be like, no, I got my phone off. Put your phone down. You're not answering them other hoes. You're not talking to nobody else. I'm the one at the moment. Okay. Always made it known. Like, no.
Merieta, I didn't hear you. Say that again. I didn't hear you. Say that again.
I shut that down real quick. They got one time to try it. I let them know, and that's it. I better not see it again. Like, when I'm with you, I do like to feel like I am the priority at that moment. I don't care if I'm not in your life, but at that moment, because I am with you right now, you better act like it. You better hide the text messages, put your phone on silent, leave your phone in the car. Like, at that moment, you're mine. So no. And the only time I've ever pulled out my phone, like on a date, is when my son was like younger. I'd be like, well, make sure he's good. I might have the phone on vibrate right here in case my son calls. So in those situations, I'm like, he's either with a sitter or a friend. I'm just going to keep the phone here for emergency purposes. Otherwise, I will not be on the phone. I will not text or look at my phone. And even in my circle of girlfriends, like if we go out to eat, I'm like, what do we all come out to eat for? For us to be looking all down at our phones? No. So we try to like put our phones in the middle or drop them in our purse. I think it's just a pure respect thing, no matter who you're with or what type of relationship, because so many people have become distracted by social media and being on their phone all the time. I see so many young people do it. I'm like, we're all sitting in the same room, but nobody's talking to each other. Everybody's responding on some type of social platform. I'm like, what? No. So I shut that down all the time. Even my son, you sitting at the table with me eating, phones down. We're not doing that. Unless I just know that I'm involved in something else, then I'd be like, okay, you get a pass. Watch your game while I'm playing. Like, but other than that, like I have times where I'm like, it's dinner time, phones down. I'm not going to answer a text. Like, we need to get back to that, like just shutting it down sometimes and interacting with the people that are right here with us in front of our faces.
No doubt.
So,
no money. Any shout outs on Facebook, brother? Any comments?
Yeah. Our Facebook, Sharon, she says, hello.
Hey.
Africa said, yes. Africa said, Merieta, exactly. LOL. Okay. no doubt.
That
And
sounded like a hello. That was like, that was it. Hello.
Right.
Hello.
Right.
okay, we'll go back to. She said, "Hello, hello." All right, and then Africa finally stated that she is, she's ready to come onto the show.
Hey.
I'm ready. She's ready to come onto the show.
Hey.
All right, Africa, we've been waiting for you.
We're
And
gonna
her
hold it
shirt
to you.
too.
No doubt, no
Mhm.
doubt.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So here it is, man. It's about that time. We're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, it's Jerry Springer moment time. Everybody gonna have their final thoughts, and we're gonna let y'all know what we think and give you some final advice. Sit tight. We'll be back in about 60 seconds.
If you would like to learn how to establish and maintain long-term meaningful relationships, join DBDS University today. You will learn about interpersonal relationships, first date tips, the relationship zones, emotional intelligence, and more.
Say thank you to my big brothers Mel and Mo for creating the DBDS University with the live, the book, the website. It's helped me so much grow as an individual.
Dear brothers, it's about quality, not quantity.
So guys, it should be your conversation, the way you flow, your presence is enough for a woman to want to be around you, not how much money you spend.
Dear sisters, it's about knowing your value.
My sisters out there, don't be afraid to scare a guy off just because you have standards.
Dear brothers, dear sisters, it's time to come together.
What's up, y'all? Back in the DBDS Live studio. It's your man Mo. I'm here with my girl Merieta, my girl Nicole, and my man Mel Money. And we have been talking about knowing the difference between love and lust and all of the different dysfunctional characteristics that come with that. We gave a lot of good advice, and now it's that time. We're going to give our final thoughts, our final words on this, and we're going to go to our gracious hosts first. Going to my girl Merieta. Merieta, talk to us, because I see you got that flawless behind you. Talk to me.
So I just want to say this, okay? Lust can bring you together, but love will keep you together. I'll say it again. Lust can bring you together, but love can keep you together, because lust is nothing but purely physical, the attraction, and it doesn't really go past that. Love is that agape love, that unconditional love, when the sex ain't even good sometimes, you don't feel like being bothered, like you have this deeper connection with that person. You're spiritually tied to that person, and you want to move beyond that, and everything's not going to always be perfect, in relationships. So love can keep a person around through all the bad, the good, and everything. And listen, ladies in particular, learn to love yourselves enough to let go, let these fillers go, and date with purpose, because you'll just you'll save yourself so much time. That's all I'll say. You'll save yourself so much time. You don't want to be in your late 30s and 40s, and then you're like, I'm still searching. But if you change your mindset now, you don't have to go through half of the stuff I've went through, my friends went through, maybe Nicole has went through. Change. It's all about your mindset. Think about what you want. And again, to that girl out there, there's so many people like her, like that 26-year-old that has kids. Even if you don't have kids, take inventory of the people that are in your life right now and say, what value are they bringing to me? Especially a man. Like, what is he doing for you? It's got to be beyond sex. Because again, the sex may stop. His penis may stop working. I'm just saying, like anything can happen. You're like, I don't want that no more. But what else is he bringing to the table? Then what? You know what I mean? Because then when you get married to somebody, are you going to stop wanting to be with them? Are you going to try to divorce them because now the sex has changed? So many people go through that. But what else is it that's keeping you there? What else is he doing for you? How is he impacting your life and making your life better? If nobody's making your life better, then they don't need to be around you. If they're not helping you grow in many areas of your life, they don't need to be there. They're not worth your time. If he's not putting you and making you a priority, you don't need to be there. Just saying.
No doubt. And listen, I just gotta add something to what Merieta said. Merieta said you save yourself a lot of time. One other thing to keep in mind, you'll save yourself a lot of trouble, because sometimes you get in those scenarios and things happen that have long-term effects, like children. All right, coming to you, Nicole. What's your final words? What's your final thoughts on today's show?
Well, to add to what you said, children could be brought into the mix, but so could disease. You could die from making the wrong decision, putting lust before love. I feel like you need to educate yourself and know what it is that you want. Do you just want lust? Do you want love? I take it back to Mel and Mo's 80-20 rule. Know what you need, know what you desire, know what you want, and know what you're willing to compromise on, and be willing to not just expect everything, but are you giving what you expect in return? You have to be honest with yourself. That lust stuff, it gets you in trouble. I'm 43. I've had a past, and like Merieta said, you end up wasting your time, your energy, your patience, and then you have to get over situations that you've put your own self in. So,
Mel Money, what's your thoughts on this, man? Final words.
Yeah, I just have to thank the lovely Nicole and Merieta, my DBDS sisters. Thank you for coming through again. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So I just want to finish off and state that in order to find the right man or woman, you have to be authentic with them as much as possible. And you do this by sticking to your standards. And if their standards are not relatable with yours, then you simply have to make room for someone who is more compatible with you. Be mindful, because so many people get confused with love and lust. One is a deep feeling of affection, which pertains to a lasting attraction that goes beyond the surface, whereas the other is physical or sexual attraction alone that you'll feel towards that particular person. The only way you'll be able to tell the difference is to use your emotions and logic along with your moral codes and rules of engagement, so that way you can get the relationship you desire.
Thank you, Mel Money. Also, listen, I would love to thank you, Merieta. Love to thank you, Nicole. You guys, every time you guys come on the show, I learn something new. You know, there's nobody who knows everything. You always keep learning. So really appreciate your insight. It was amazing.
Thank you.
Now, my feedback is I'm gonna say this real quick. Love and lust, right? We're talking about love and lust. Nothing wrong with either. The problem is that you need to be informed. You need to know what you're doing. So make sure whatever situation you're in, you understand which one you're in. That way you can determine if you're okay with it, right? Because we all been in that phase where it's like, look, I just want some lust and I'm good with it. You know what I'm saying? Or, now I'm in the phase where, listen, I need something deeper and something more committed, and there's nothing wrong with either. Just make sure you know what you're dealing with. Mel Money, set us off, brother.